Hello students. So today we are here to discuss problems which are there in your textbook on page 74, and these problems are from chapter 7 named motion. Okay. So what's the first question? The question says an object has moved through a distance. Can it have zero displacement? If yes, support your answer with an example. Like, let's say, what is distance? First of all, what is distance? Distance is nothing but the path traveled by an object. Let's say there is a point A here, there is another point B over here. Over the time, let's say an object has moved all the way from here to here. It can do this, or it can go from A to B like this, or it can go all the way like this and come back. Or it can start from A and reach your home and go to your school and come back to B. That's also possible, right? So what's the distance? The distance is total path length it has traveled, the total path it has traveled. Okay. And what is displacement? Displacement is the distance or the shortest distance between the initial point and the final point. So here the displacement is this. Okay, and other paths that I have drawn in black, those are all distances. Okay, now the question is if it is possible for an object to have zero displacement. Yes, absolutely yes. What is the condition? The condition would be if the initial point and the final point is the same. Let's say an object is starting from here, it goes like that and goes like that, goes like that and comes back. What is its initial point? A, this one. Where has it ended up its journey? The same point. So what is the distance between its initial and final point? It is 0, right? So that's why the displacement in this case is 0. Displacement here is equal to 0. What would be the distance it has traveled? It is equal to the perimeter of the square, right? Let me give you another example. Let's say there is a circle. An object starts from here. It goes all the way along the circle and comes back to the same point. So the displacement here would be equal to 0. The distance traveled will be equal to the circumference of the circle. Displacement is 0. To go a step ahead, let me just ask you a simple question. What would be the distance and displacement if an object has gone from A to B as shown in the figure? Okay, pause the video and try to find the solution. Okay, let me answer your question. Distance here is equal to half of the circumference of the circle. Half into circumference. Then what is displacement? Right? I know most of you have guessed it right. It's the displacement is equal to the diameter of the circle. Alright, we have finished first question. Let's move on to the second question. Okay, the question says, a farmer moves along the boundary of a square field of side 10 meters in 40 seconds. What will be the magnitude of displacement of the farmer at the end of 2 minutes 20 seconds from his initial point? So let's make a small square field for the farmer. Let's say this is the starting point. The side of the square is 10 meters. Okay. So what he does is, he starts from this point, let's say A, he completes the entire square field and he lands up here. So what's the total distance he has traveled? Distance is 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10, right? So the total distance he has traveled is 40 meters. Okay. Now, how long does he take to complete this 40 meters? He takes 40 seconds, right? So the time he takes is 40 seconds. Now, calculate what is the distance he can travel in 2 minutes 20 seconds. Okay? So let's find out what is the time. T is equal to 20 minutes 20 seconds. What is 20 minutes? 20 minutes is 2 into 60, which is 120 seconds. Okay. Let's check how many rounds he can make of this square in 120 seconds. Okay. In 40 seconds, he completes one round. In 80 seconds, he completes second round. Right. In 120 seconds, he completes a third round. How many more seconds does he have? 20 seconds he has. Let's say I started from here. He completes one square in 40 seconds, another square in 80, another square in 80. So he's here now. 20 more seconds are left for him. So in those 20 seconds, if he completes this distance in 40 seconds, then obviously in 20 seconds, he would complete only half of it, right? So at the end of 2 minutes 20 seconds, he is here, isn't it? What is the displacement? The question is the magnitude of displacement of the farmer at the end of this. From the initial point, what is the displacement here? Half the side of the square, which is displacement, is equal to the side length is 10 meters, half of it, which is 5 meters. Hope you got the solution of this problem. Now let's move on to the next question. Third question says, which of the following is true for displacement? You have already understood what is displacement, children. So what are the options? It can be 0 or its magnitude is greater than the distance travelled by the object. Let me give you an example to discuss this. Let's say an object is starting from here, A, as we did before. One path can be from here to here. Now in this case, the first case, what is distance travelled? Let's say the distance between A and B is 2 meters. So what is distance? Obviously it's 2 meters. What would be the displacement? That's also 2 meters, right? Because there is no other path it has travelled. So distance and displacement are same. Here, the word magnitude is nothing but we are only taking the number. We are not saying whether the object has gone back or gone front. We are only taking the number. Displacement is a vector. Distance is a scalar. So displacement being a vector, it can be positive, negative or 0. Whereas distance can only be positive. So that's the meaning of magnitude. It is just the number we are taking. It is just the measure of something. We are not saying whether it is going backwards or it's going forward. That's the meaning of what is magnitude. So here in this case, the distance and displacement are same. Now, can distance be greater than displacement? Let's consider case 2. There's a point A, there's another point B. Now the same object, instead of going directly from A to B, it goes like this. Now in this case, what would be displacement? Again, the distance between A and B is still 2 meters. So what is the distance travelled? Let's say the blue line that I have drawn is of 5 meters. So this is distance is 5 meters. Displacement will be still 2 meters, right? So here displacement is smaller than distance. So displacement is smaller than distance. Now can you just think of a situation where the distance between the initial and final points is greater than the path travelled by the object. It's like saying it has started from A and it has reached B, but it has ended up somewhere in between. It has not even touched this point. Is that possible? Never, right? So it is always true that displacement is equal to or less than distance. Obviously this point is not true. Can it be 0? As I discussed in the first problem, yes, it can be 0. Option A is the right option. So, the displacement can be 0, but it cannot be greater than the distance travelled by an object. I hope this solved your doubts, and I hope the 3 questions are solved. In the next video, let's try to solve other problems in the same chapter. Thank you, students. Enjoy and learn well.